Hey everyone, it's Amy Pinkston, your pink bag lady. Let's talk party planning. All right, I'm going to give you 9 steps that are crucial in planning a party. So we're going to go through each one of these and make sure that you are ready to plan your next party. All right, so number 1, we're going to set a date. We want to make sure that we set a date that is on the right day of the week. Do we want to have it on a weekday? Do we want to have it on a weekend? What is going to be best for the person that we are having the party for, even if it's ourselves, and for the guests that we think are going to be attending? All right, next we want to make sure that no holidays or important events are falling on this date. A great way to do that is to look on your Chamber of Commerce website and make sure there's nothing going on in your town. Of course, look at your calendar, and then even looking at Facebook and looking at events, that will help you out as well. Don't make the mistake that I made several years ago when I planned my wedding at the exact same time as our largest festival here in my hometown. There were absolutely no rooms for anyone to rent. So be sure that you consider that. It's a huge thing to take into account. And you want to make sure that the date is good with important guests. If the guest of honor cannot be there, not a good date. If it's a birthday party and your grandparents can't, the grandparents can't be there, you want to make sure that you keep those types of things in mind, okay? And then we want to start considering an end time and a start time. Even if you don't know the exacts, are you going to have this in the morning? Are you going to have this in the afternoon? Or are you having it at night? So just figuring out what time of day would be good, okay? All right, moving on to step number 2. We are now going to look at the budget, okay? This can be the not fun part of planning a party. You've got to look at exactly how much you want to spend. Now, if the party is just going to be a little gathering or, a small birthday party, then consider having it at home and it not being something elaborate. Now, if it is an event that is really a significant milestone, then you're going to want to look at having it in some type of event venue. All right, set an appropriate budget for the party so that you don't go overboard. I'm going to tell you that's huge because we all tend to go overboard when it comes to all the fine details of planning a party. All right, and then you also want to make sure that when you're setting the budget, kind of keep in mind how much you want to spend per guest. All right, so as long as you keep that in mind, that will help you as well. All right, let's look at step number 3, your guest list. So you need to consider who you want to invite and start making that list. Now, if it begins to get out of hand, then just a little tip from me, think about people that you just simply could not imagine not being at the event. You want to make sure that those people are at the top of the list before you start cutting aunts and uncles and people like that off the list. So keep in mind that 15 to 20% of guests do not actually RSVP for the party or attend the event, okay? So just keep that in mind as you're inviting people. That's a good rule of thumb. Step 4, we're going to select the event venue. So you're going to want to keep in mind how much you plan to spend per guest and how many guests you ended up with so that you can make sure your event venue fits. If you are inviting 50 to 70 people, you need to have a large enough event venue. If you are just inviting 10, 15 people, then you can probably just keep it simple and at your home or even outside. But some types of parties will just lend themselves to the event space, meaning if you're having a skating party, it's going to be at the skating rink. If you're having a outside picnic, then it could be at the park. Just keep in mind simple, easy places that you can hold the party. Now, if this is an elaborate event, then you're going to want to look at an actual banquet hall or some type of event venue that you can rent out. It could be a club, it could be part of a restaurant. So be looking at all of those things because they could affect your date that you've already set. So you need to be a little bit flexible. And all these first 4 need to be done pretty quickly and all together so that you don't have that domino effect. If one falls, then it's all gonna fall. Step 5, we are going to send invitations. Now, if we are talking a formal event, then we probably need to design invitations. We can purchase invitations online. You can use Etsy and other places like that if you want to download a really sophisticated invitation. You just need to decide what you want to do with your invitation. For smaller gatherings, consider just an evite, some kind of simple invitation that you can send through your phone or through email, and just send it easy that way, save on postage and save on the actual invitations and the printing. And then when you send out invitations, give guests plenty of time to plan and to RSVP. Number 6, we are going to get to the fun part now. We are going to plan games and activities. Now, if we are talking a children's birthday party, games and activities are pretty easy. For talking teenagers, might be a little more difficult. If it's an elaborate event and something like a wedding, then you probably are looking at hiring a DJ. If you can't afford a DJ, then just a simple playlist on your iPod or whatever it is you plan to use will be fine. But you want to make sure that you have all those things planned. If it's a baby shower or wedding shower and you want to plan some fun games, I will have some future videos that will give you some ideas of some fun things that you can play at each one. But in the meantime, you're welcome to look on Pinterest and to look on Etsy and then just Google fun party games. Pretty much just make sure that you set out a timeline because you may plan too much for the amount of time that you actually have allotted for the party. So make sure that you have a timeline plotted out so that you have enough planned or you don't have too much planned. All right, number 7, we want to make sure that we have tables, seating, and tableware. If you are renting a venue, then you need to find out if the tables and the chairs and the tableware come with it. If you need to rent those out additionally, if you are having a party at the park, do you have enough seating or do you need to bring lawn chairs and additional folding chairs to that event? All those things that you need to consider to make sure that everyone has a place to sit. So if you need to rent chairs, if you need to rent tables, you need to make sure that you have that planned. And then also planning renting linens for the tables and then renting chair covers for the chairs if that is something that you are looking at. Okay, my favorite part, and that is step 8, and that is decorations. Now, I tend to go overboard on decorations unless I have my budget and I stick to it. So you want to determine your theme first. Now, if it is a child's birthday party, that's usually revolving around what he or she is lacking at the moment. So things like that are easy to plan, and there's so many websites that are available on planning children's birthday parties and entire packages that are put together for the different themes. Now, if you are looking at a baby shower or a wedding shower, there are so many cute ideas. For a wedding shower, you could do something along the lines of, she's found her main squeeze, and do a lemon theme. So there's lots of opportunities to have fun. Of course, holidays are easy to plan around and so much fun. So keeping in mind what kind of theme and then what you want to purchase for that event. Are you needing balloons? Are you needing paper plates? Are you needing, centerpieces? All the things. There are so many things to take in mind whenever you are looking at decorations. You might have a photo booth set up, so that would be something that you would try to keep in mind. If you are on a tight budget, consider borrowing decorations from a family member or a friend, and even consider making your own. My son's second birthday, he was in love with Elmo, and so I simply made posters of all his favorite characters and had those laminated and ready. So we had Cookie Monster and did put the cookie in Cookie Monster's mouth as a game. We had Oscar the Grouch, and we threw trash into his trash can. I had a pole that actually had the Sesame Street sign. So there's so many options. You just need to think about, do I really want to spend $40 on that, or can I make it? So making things and borrowing things can help you out immensely whenever it comes to decorations. And again, you don't need 50 centerpieces if this is just a one-time wedding. What are you going to do with all of these centerpieces after it's over? So borrowing things from other people is really going to help. All right, the 9th and final step is food and drink. We've got to plan that menu. So we want to think about, again, how much do we want to spend per guest, and keep that in mind. Are you doing a meal? Are you having just heavy appetizers? Is it simply cake and ice cream? All those little things. Are you going to send some food or party favor type food home with the guests? Just thinking about all of that, thinking about whether you're going to have punch or individual drinks. If it is an event where alcoholic beverages are going to be consumed, you're going to want to keep in mind that typically 3 to 4 alcoholic drinks is what a guest will consume. So lots of things to consider whenever you are talking about planning a party. But I have something that I think will help. I have a party checklist for you for free to help go through all these 9 steps. So if you would like to get your hands on that free PDF, all you need to do is fill out the Google form below, and you can get that checklist sent to you by email for free. If you would like more information on party planning, be sure to contact me. There are links below that you can fill out, and then I can get you on my mailing list so that you get emails anytime I post new information on party planning. All right, good luck planning that party. I can't wait to see how it works out for you. Hopefully it will be a lot easier with these 9 steps.